Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to my humble channel. My name is Juan Enrique, and this is DCS World, part 2 of my English series. I promised to show you how to use the mission editor. So let's enter the mission editor, and I'm going to select right away. I'm going to select an airport, which is going to be Kutaisi right here. I'm going to zoom in a bit into it. And so we have here, of course, you can make a new mission, open mission, save mission, and here, for example, create mission log, and you can tell what the situation is, and of course, the date and time. If you want to not fly during the daytime, here you can change to fly during the nighttime. So, but we're going to just leave that at that. Here you can put in the weather, dynamic or standard. I'm going to keep it standard, and I'm going to put in a few clouds. Alrighty. And okay, moving right along. I'm going to click on the airport. Wait, no. I'm going to click on objects. Here at the left, there's an airplane. All right. I'm going to click on that, and then opens this window. And I'm going to select Russia and Georgia because if you downloaded DCS World for free, you're just going to have the Su25t to fly. I have purchased all other mods so I can fly every aircraft made for this game, but Su25, we're going to select that, and here at skill you're going to click on client, which is going to enable you to be able to select the aircraft if needed. So then I'm going to click on the airport, okay, and then this window of waypoints appears, and we can click on the type and say takeoff from ramp, okay. Then it'll select a parking spot for my aircraft, and here you can select any aircraft spot you wish. I'm going to take 21 because I know it's close to the, um, then again I could take 22, which is maybe even a bit closer. So then I just take a left, another left, another left, and then that's the runway. So we have our first waypoint set. We're going to click on something else. So I'm going to select my first waypoint now. And of course, we want to just basically, I'm going to show you how to turn on the aircraft. We're going to show you how to navigate, land, and then later on, we're going to talk about targets. But we're going to do the mission, we're going to finish the mission for today. And so my first waypoint is going to be in the direction of the takeoff, right around here, where the river is. Okay, so we got our first waypoint, and here we got some info. It's going to want us to be flying at 118 meters, which is quite not enough. So I'm going to put in 1,000 for our standard flight height. And with that done, now I can click as many waypoints as I want. All waypoints I click from waypoint 1 on is going to be 1,000 meters, which is pretty useful to know. Otherwise, if you don't know this, you set in your 1,000 waypoints and then you have to manually edit all the altitudes. But I'm going to keep it like that. Sorry about that. So that is my second waypoint. If I click edit, I can also just drag it around if I'm not happy with the first position I chose. So then I'm going to click add, and I'm going to add some more. We're just going to fly around fly along the river here, because I guess that's going to make for a nice tour of this area, I guess. I'm just going to place this guy here, and then a turning waypoint, and then the last one right before the runway, basically a few kilometers away, is going to be waypoint 7. So waypoint 7 is going to be the last waypoint, and by then we should have the airport in sight and should be already getting ready to land. So here we have a nice flight path. I'm just going to edit this one because maybe it'll be a sharp turn. So there we go. And I'm just going to scroll down a bit here. And down here at Koboleti, we have a little abandoned airport. And here we can put in some targets. And we do that by selecting ground units, in this case. Here I'm going to go to category unarmed, and I'm going to select the transport M818, which is basically a truck. I'm going to place one, and I'm going to press Control Copy, Control C, just like you would do in any copying text thing. And then with Control V, I can place as many units as I want along the runway here. And I'm going to do the same thing with this runway. I'm going to place a whole bunch in the middle. And I'm going to keep on filling out the rest of the runway. That's pretty good. And that's it. So we've done everything. Our airplane is set. We're, of course, unless I fly manually down there, we're not going to fly to the trucks. But that is for another mission. I'm just going to save this mission somewhere here. Save as YouTube tutorial mission English. That sounds like a good name to use to save this. And so, very important, again, I have to say it again, client and or player. It's important for you to choose this, because otherwise then you enter your map and you cannot select any aircraft. So it's kind of pointless. But it's important that you select here on skill either player or client. I'm just going to keep it at player. That way it's just going to throw us into the cockpit. So save again, and I'll click on flight and fly mission, and I'll see you in the cockpit. So here we are. Here we are in our cockpit, in our hangar in Kutaisi. I'm just going to scroll out a bit. Isn't it pretty? What a pretty day. So yeah, we're basically right now in a shadow of a cloud, which is not going to hinder us from doing anything. So we're here today to turn on the Su-25. It should be noted, if you want to communicate with the ground crew to rearm and do stuff right now, this is the moment to be doing it, because they won't refuel and or rearm you if your engines are on and your cockpit door is closed. So basically, if you want to interact with ground crew, you better have your uh, airplane shut down and opened up. So let's just turn on this airplane. We begin with the right shift and L, like Ludwigshafen, like Lily. Right shift and L will turn on the electrical systems. And you can see here all the instruments turn on, come to life, and start calibrating themselves. And now we got our HUD, and the entire electrical system thingies are now working. Now we can start turning on our engines. Normally, I teach it this way because there are some airplanes where you cannot turn on both engines at the same time. In this case, yes, you can. I don't know if that is a mistake or not, or a limitation to the game, but normally I turn on engine 1 first and then engine 2 in my helicopters, in my airplanes. So with right Alt and Home, with the right Alt key and the Home key, you press them, and then you see here a tiny thing that says Start Left. The first needle of the first engine should start to move. From outside, you can also start seeing your engine spin around, and the other one doesn't because it's obviously not turning on. You should hear. Yep. Okay, now he tells me I'm allowed to start up. But yeah, there you go. Engine one. Ah, crap. I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to switch back, so I cannot taxi the runway yet. So engine one is turned on, and we can see that because the light has turned off, and we're at approximately 3,300 RPM with engine one. So with right control home, we turn on engine two. And by the way, while that is happening, with left control C, we can close our cockpit door. Right. We can watch as engine 2 starts to spin up, and there'll be a jump. There's going to be a jump. There's going to be a jump, a jolt. It's going to go up until almost, what is it, 4,000? Almost 4,000. Almost 4,000. And then it goes back to actually 3,350 to be disgustingly precise. So here we are. Our engines are turned off. We cannot take off like this yet. If we look outside, and if I press right control L, well, I saw it. I don't know if you saw it, but lights turned on, one in the back and two on each, well, one on each side of the wings. And if we press right control L, it is set then to, as you can see, it's not blinking or anything. This is the mode you want to be having when you're turning on your airplane, when you're interacting on the ground and you want people to know, hey, I'm here and I'm about to start doing things, but this is my startup phase, so that's why my lights ain't blinking. If we wanted to symbolize to the airport, hey, we're gonna start moving, we press right control L one more time, and then our lights start blinking as they do. And yes, so we can do one more light. We can look at our wing, basically. And if I press right Alt L, we see little lights coming down, and they turn on, and that is the landing lights. Let me just turn them a little lower, and then you can turn them off entirely. But let's turn them on again to see that effect. Headlights. If we press it one more time, they go a little bit weaker, and then one more time, and it's turned off. But I'm going to turn them on and set them to medium or low. And then let's just take a look at our cockpit. And this is it. We are ready for takeoff. We are ready to taxi to the runway, and we are ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready as we'll ever be. So, I thank you very much for watching this episode. This was part 2 of my DCS World series with the Su25t in English. I encourage you to stay tuned because there's more coming. Until next time, people, until next time.